What's the difference between a boy and a man?
Difference between a boy and a man. Wow, that could be a very controversial answer.
It's their own definition. Like they can decide in a moment, I'm a boy. Oh, I'm a man. I think it's just semantics.
A lot of like core value traits is the difference, like having like respect, having high morals, high ethics.
Your bottom, it gets bigger, and the little boy stays smaller.
Ah, that's the main difference.
That's right, that's the main difference.
Do you miss being a child IRL?
All the time. All the time.
Do you think you're a boy or a man?
It's hard to say.
Alright, so it's running. Are you a girl or a woman?
I'm definitely a woman, but I'm still like a child at heart.
Do you miss being a child IRL?
All the time. All the time. I miss being a kid, no bills. Parents gave me food all the time. I didn't have to clean my house. Yeah, I definitely miss being a child.
But when you were a kid, you were looking forward to being an adult. Were you just wrong?
I was wrong. Absolutely, I was wrong.
Alright, so all kids out there, you heard her. So I was thinking, do you think somebody can grow up too fast?
Yes, absolutely. Sometimes it's not their fault, and sometimes they're just in a rush to grow up, definitely.
How can it not be their fault though?
If you're brought into a situation where maybe your parents aren't there for you, or you have to take care of your younger siblings, you're forced to kind of be the adult in situations, for sure.
Is it negative to grow up too fast? Can it be negative to grow up quickly?
It can be. There's benefits and there's costs. Like if the benefits would be if you have to grow up really fast, you kind of like know how to take care of yourself, and there's not really as much of a learning curve when you become an adult. The cost would be that you kind of are robbed of your childhood, for sure.
And how does it show up? Do you think it shows up like psychologically afterwards, like when you're an adult, you feel it? Or do you think it's just do you think the person who grew up too fast feels that they grew up too fast?
Definitely. Absolutely. I would say they would feel robbed of their childhood, like they didn't get that time to actually be a kid. So maybe in adulthood they would act out and like become a kid again and be irresponsible and that sort of thing. So I think it can definitely come out that way.
So you don't want to associate yourselves with people who grow up too fast?
I grew up too fast. So, I mean, you know, as long as you're responsible still and you're like a good person, of course I'd associate myself with you.
Any regrets from your childhood?
I mean, there's a few, like you make mistakes when you're a kid, but it's all just about learning. So I guess maybe not regrets, but I'm just aware of my mistakes.
So regrets are kind of stupid because you can't change them.
Exactly. Yeah, just learn from them. That's all you can do.
Well, thanks a lot for your time. What's that about?
What's this about? I couldn't tell you if you paid me. It's something in my I don't know, bro. I couldn't tell you.
Myanmar must be free.
Thank you.
What is this about? Myanmar.
All right. They seem pretty mad.
No, they're not mad. They're emotional. Emotions fly high when people don't know what to do.
What do you think about protests?
I think they're a waste of time. I think it's a waste of time. You can't protest things that are in place already. The only way to protest is to knock it out of place. But doing this, they're just drawing attention. Some people see it, some people say, oh, pretty cool, right? Draws attention. But is it going to solve the problem? Nah.
Do you think you're a boy or a man?
It's hard to say when you think of boy or man. I mean, I was born a toddler, a little toddler, and I was a young boy, and now I passed my young man stage, and I'm at the stage where I feel like, I'm manly. I'm a man.
And what was the transition? When do you think you became a man?
When I became a man, when I realized there's not much man in the world. Yeah, there was not much men in the world. There's a lot of men in the world, but there's not much man in the world. A man is only one that is one with his God, one with the people. That's a man. That's a man. A man is one level away from being his God self. So that's a man for me, bro.
And do you think somebody can achieve success without growing up?
Again, what are you growing up on?
You got Justin Bieber, who technically, like, he was 17, he made money, so I guess he was successful while still being a boy.
Justin Bieber, all praises to him. That's great. Whatever he got his riches from is what he got his riches from. Some people get their riches from the inheritance of their parents and never done nothing, forget it. So whatever a man achieve in his life, even if he's a bum, if he achieved to be a good bum, he's a good bum. You can't say nothing because you don't know what God had planned for him.
All right, what's up?
Not a whole lot.
That's weird. I mean, it's pretty good not to have a whole lot happening in a day. It's nice. It's a Sunday.
Yeah,
It's chill.
weather's really nice out.
So today's theme is about growing up, and I wanted to ask you what the difference is between a boy and a man.
The one has their act together.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that's that. I agree, but how would you see that? Like, if you talk to someone for 10 minutes, would you be able to recognize if they're a boy or a man?
Yeah.
How?
The one of them's got long hair and a nice face. Yeah.
Long hair and a nice face?
Yeah, I guess so.
Which one has the long hair and a nice face, the boy or the man?
Yes, the woman.
No. I'm asking between the boy and a man.
I guess one of them has boobs, the other one doesn't, if you want to get like that.
Oh, well, thanks a lot. That's great. To ask you what the difference is between a boy and a man.
Big difference. As soon as you hit 25, you start to think properly.
Don't you think? Do you think people who? Do you think it's only about age? Do you think everybody who gets to 25 start to think properly, or do you think you can refuse to do that?
Well, people refuse because there's a lot of sinners out here. I've been watching them all. Tell them who I am, but nobody believes.
You said people. You tell them who they are and they don't believe you. Like, what do you mean by that?
I'm a pagan. I believe in just faith. Because we're all source energy. Doesn't matter what anyone says. You just don't know. Because I told over 99% of the people in Toronto. And they don't believe because the Illuminati tricked everybody. So, but hold on a second. Because I have clarity and insight from the secret law of attraction. I'm the only one on earth who's ever got what I got. After a rebirth, I had 6 things happen to me. It's never happened on earth. Ever. I'm source energy, the highest level on earth and in heaven. I have 20 lifetimes. Anybody in the 333 has 30 lifetimes. And the circle of 6 are the most powerful and holiest on earth.
Why you though? How did you get that?
Because I look for him. He is real. And you know what? There's 7 gods and a bunch of demigods. And I don't care what anybody says. It's the truth, the whole truth, and the gods will speed.
7 gods, like, it's a like who, like how, like which gods?
Lord of Lords and King of Kings. They say Lord of Lords is King of Kings. Lord of Lords and King of Kings, and a bunch of other lords.
And what's the difference between the Lord of Lords and the King of Kings?
Well, you're about to find out.
Yeah.
Because I'm about to spend $100 trillion on Toronto. So is my son and so is my daughter. Nobody has that kind of money. And I'm about to open North America Got Power bank account. A bank. And it's going to be in Toronto. And you know who owns it? King of the Concrete Jungle. That's me. And King of Kings, Byron Nelson from ACN. We're going to put $777 trillion in that bank.
What would you tell yourself at 21?
At 21? I'll just tell you what I'll say now. Thank you, Jesus, for the powers that you have vested in me. Today is the day. Young and Dundas, watch what happens. You're going to see miracles, because I've been doing them all the time and nobody believes it. I can attract anything, and I have. You're about to see. This guy's going to be famous.
Thanks, man. Thank you for your time, and I hope it's true. Thank you. See you. And somebody refused to grow up?
I've refused. I'm 39. You'd never know it. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think it's good to refuse to grow up?
Yes, in a way, because when we're young, we're exploring. And all our lives, we should be exploring everything, regardless of how old we are. Life is experiences regardless of the age. And because of that, we should always have that attitude of exploration.
If you had advice to give yourself at 21, if you see yourself at 21, what advice would you give him?
Go for it. Whatever your dream is, go for it. Don't let anybody detour your thoughts about that matter. You're always going to be right. No question.
Well, that you heard him, so you need to go for it. That's it. And he's 39, so he knows what he's talking about.
There you go. Okay, thanks very much.
Thanks a lot, man. What do you think is the difference between a boy and a man?
Naivete, but also fear, but also cockiness, but also like all of these. Oh, like I'm talking about when you're a boy. But even with that, there's like some things that you like when you're like smaller, when you're older, that like, you know, they say when you grow older you become more boring. I feel like for me, for example, I get along with kids, and I wouldn't say I'm like a full-ass adult yet. I'm still in school. But I feel like it's good to have a bit of like a children's soul, because you don't want to grow up and just have that like loss of curiosity or sense of wonder.
So you don't want to. So the question, boy or man, you always want to keep a part of you that's kind of a boy.
Yeah.
She really likes you. Do you think? Do you have any regrets from your childhood, or do you think you did well?
Actually, my mom was a great mom. I didn't really have many regrets from when I was a kid. Honestly, I had a great mom.
That's great. That's great, and that's beautiful to hear. Not everybody can say that. You're fortunate.
I guess kind of. My mom was an angel.
That's great.
I'm a bit of a mess up as an adult, though.
I mean, it's all subjective. If you're happy, you're happy. But it's, I ran out of questions.
I think happiness, you really can't tell happiness by the outside of somebody.
Yeah.
Like, I live in hell. You just can't tell. Like, you look at me, do you think I'm a happy person?
Yes.
I'm actually not.
I mean, you seem pretty smiling. You come by, you talk nicely.
I don't like to portray it onto others.
Yeah. Well, that's
The stress of my life shouldn't be affecting you.
that's kind of something that agreeable people do. I feel like people who are nicer, responsible.
I can point out any one of these and their life's hell. I can tell you how her life's hell, even if she's smiling. I can tell you how her life's hell, his life, and everybody else's life. We all go through the same things. That's the problem. We all work all day. We miss our kids. We miss our family. And at the end of the day, they can say whatever they want with the biggest smile on their face. I can say a few words with they'll tear up.
Do you think people who walk around smiling all day, who's better? People who walk around smiling all day, or people who actually show to the world what is actually happening? Which I agree with you, kind of.
Yeah, I think the people like me that smile all day, you don't want to know what's behind the scene. Because you can't handle the truth, actually. Nobody can.
I feel that.
If you learn my truth, you'd be like, holy God, this guy lives Lord of the Rings. Bullshit. Because this sheeple is bullshit.
It is running. See, that's a serious shirt.
You mean business? I know.
All right, what's up?
Hello. Hi.
What's your name?
Sarah.
So, I'm asking people about growing up. Usually, I ask adults whether they miss being a child. So, I want to ask you: do you look forward to being an adult, or do you want to stay a child?
No, I have a lot of anxiety about it, and I want to go back to like playing with dirt and stuff.
So you already miss being a child.
Yeah, and I'm still a child.
But why? Why?
I don't know, it's just there's so much responsibility and expectations, and you got to know about like money and the stock market or something, and it's just I feel like I'm underprepared for this.
I'm sure you'll figure it out.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Well, I wanted to ask also. So it's awkward because we have your friend right here. But, what do you think about friendships as you grow up?
Oh, Sarah, what do you think?
Do you think they last forever? Do you think? what's the place of friendship while you grow up?
I mean, I've had a lot of friends, and a lot of them have left me. So she's probably gonna leave me one day. I mean, it's just not out of like not like in a mean way, just like as like you grow up and your lives change. We're probably gonna go different directions.
I mean, what's happening to teenagers these days? Back when I was a teen, I always thought my friendships were gonna last forever. That's how I viewed it. So it feels like people are too scared and being.
People are childish.
So
all these people are childish. They have the government control their whole life, centralize how they eat, centralize how they sleep, centralize how they spend money, centralize everything they do.
they're kids.
They're kids. Of course, these are all kids. They're just big kids in the system.
And being a grown-up, in part, is refusing the system.
Yes. You learn that you can fight back. More than
I can see that.
Accepting what they say, accepting what they give. A lot of people are childish. They just, well, the government said so. Well, you know what? The government said to go jump over the bridge, you'll be cured. Would half of you go jump over the bridge to go get cured?
One last question. Do you think anybody can grow up? Is it somebody's fault if they don't grow up?
Okay, here's how you grow up. And you could put it in any how you want, but here's how it works. If you, all your life, have been childish by not paying your bills, refusing to pay your debts, taking care of the things that you grow up, some people say they're growing up, but they end up cheating you, lying you, stealing from you, even in their older age. Some people are 30 years old and still steal from their friggin' family and friends. So that's not growing up. Growing up is like this. You are broke and in debt, so you need people to control your life. So you need somebody to financially guide you, take care of you, and provide for you. You cannot say you're growing up and be on welfare. You cannot say you're growing up and be on Ontario disability. Once the government is centralizing parts of your life, you are not growing up. Okay? Growing up is this. I don't need no one. Because when I'm a millionaire, I have a status. I don't have a credit or a debt. When you get to be a millionaire, you have a status. So the status now becomes who you are.
Thanks for the answers. Super interesting. And I agree with a lot. So thanks a lot.
Well, just remember this, bro. If someone is going to answer a question and they have to think about everything before they even answer it, they don't have an answer.
Thanks, man.